Hello everybody, this is Justin bringing us another Let Us Show You, and today I have Brad with me.
Hey guys!
Hey, so we had an opportunity this weekend and had a chance to preview Dying Light.
Ooh.
Yes, which is, if you don't know, it's Techland's new zombie kind of survivor game, which they're not new to. They have done Dead Island before, and this will be coming out January 7th.
Oh, okay. So, you did, you played it for a little while then?
A little while. I actually started streaming this, and you know, it's one of those things I do a test stream.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, cool. It looks fine, and like the room starts to fill up. I'm like, well, shit. So, I put about 17 hours in this game.
Okay, so you got a decent little hands-on here then. So,
yeah, you can say that.
It's zombie survival. Give me a breakdown. What are we working with here? What's the setup here?
The setup story-wise is it doesn't tell you how the outbreak happened or what's being doing contained.
Okay.
You just know there's this city that's kind of in quarantine, and you're being dropped in it. You are working for a certain agency.
Okay.
You're supposed to be dropped in. You have your own mission, but when you land, you know, stuff happens.
Okay.
You end up getting saved by some survivors there, and from there you are trying to build trust with survivors while carrying out your mission, except of course they don't know that you're carrying out a mission. Character is enjoyable because it is voiced by Troy Baker, so it's a nice familiar voice in there.
Oh, that's good.
It doesn't matter what he plays, like you seem to enjoy your character well, as long as he's playing the voice.
Thanks. I'll bear that in mind. Listen, is there anything else? I'm in a bit of a rush.
And which the character's also name is Crane in here. He does have another sub-name, but that I can't really get into.
Okay. Alright, that's I guess that's a standard plot line, but that's enough to go on there.
Name hints, Dying Light. There's two parts of this game. There's the daylight mode and the night mode.
Right.
Daylight mode, you'll see standard zombies. They're kind of just, you know, zombieing and around, as best as I could put it. And of course, they'll have a different variety. Like, you'll have your standard ones, and you'll have, like, these big kind of Frankenstein ones. And there's some that are, like, in these hazmat suits are a little tough. But they're not that big of a threat. And they won't heavily pursue you. They only climb if it's a battle at their height level.
Yeah, I watched a little bit, and the daytime zombies, at least, they don't seem very dangerous at all, really. But
No, and it's more about trying to avoid them than anything else. And then when you switch to night mode, that all changes. There's actually, there's called volatile zombies, where it's hard to explain. They're kind of a little bit more like vampires, because like UV light also burns them. But if they spot you, they are on you. On top of those types, there's actually like some of the other zombies just get more aggressive. And you actually like see it within them. Like you'll see a zombie start freaking out, and all of a sudden they'll get a whole lot more aggressive. They're like, it doesn't matter where you climb, they'll follow you up there.
So you're this is something different here, I guess. Maybe this is one of your points for wanting to try this. You can climb. It's got a parkour system, right?
It does have a parkour. Man, with this game, I mean, we've seen it. For example, with Shadow of Mordor, something that, well, we'd say they borrowed, but you definitely see some gameplay mechanics that are similar to other games. That's pretty strong in Dying Light, but it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
It's a mix between Dead Island. It kind of has the movement system of Mirror's Edge, but they also have some other mechanics, like the lockpicking feels exactly like Skyrim's.
Oh.
So, not a bad thing.
Okay, so it borrows a lot of concepts, but it's good concepts that work well together. Is there anything else with the gameplay that should be a reason to take a look at this game? Something to pull us in?
I mean, just the moving around is fun enough. Like I've been streaming and just all I have been doing is just running around the stages, and I have people watching me for hours on end.
I'm looking at a little bit of video right now, and this guy keeps backing up and running and like jump kicking with like a bicycle kick people in the face just over and over.
The drop kick is probably one of the funnest things in that game. But that's the thing, like when you start off, like they also hint, even though you're kind of the soldier type character, you're not used to all this parkour, and it kind of shows you're not. Like it feels kind of chunky at the beginning because you don't have all your abilities, but they do have a skill system.
Okay.
Basically 3 different sets. There's your survivor skills, which is basically kind of building up your blueprints to craft more stuff, and it gets you like certain items. Like it's something I'm really excited about, but haven't had a chance to try yet. But I'm pretty sure it's been mentioned before. There's going to be a grappling hook in the game.
Oh man, that looks like, just the thought of that looking at the video sounds perfect.
Yes, but also like there's a lot of support items too, like to get better grenades and stuff. Next is agility, and as the name suggests, that's more so your movement moves. And I love it. They they actually wrote, it's like most of this is for your movements, but they don't cause a lot of damage yet. In agility, there is the drop kick, which is probably like it's the move I use the most. And once you upgrade it, it takes out the normal zombies every single time. And it's not like it. The fighting on it's interesting, which we'll actually get into the other one, the power set, which is most of your combat moves. So like that's how you learn how to actually throw your melee items, how you get stronger hits, tornado type hits. And let's get to the fighting. The fighting is interesting. It's not like you just hit them; they have a certain hit points. Like it depends where you hit them. Like you kind of have to aim a little bit towards them. Like aim a little up to hit their head, and when you hit their head, it definitely has more damage. The same thing when you drop kick them. It depends how they land. There's definitely a fun ragdoll type effects to all these zombies. And you'll also see when they climb around, they kind of just like lean their weight over and fall over a bunch of things, which is actually fun to watch on its own. But yeah, they let's say if you do a drop kick. Sometimes they'll land on their back, and they'll just get up. But sometimes, like, you'll kick them hard enough where they'll flip, and they'll actually land on their head, and you'll actually see their head smash, and they'll kill them like that. Wow. So, it's got some interesting hit detection on there. So, it not only depends how you hit them, depends how they land and where they land at. And there's also, like, a lot of fun, like, there's spikes throughout the levels, and, like, there's some grapple moves you can do, kind of, like, throw them straight into the spikes. So, you have a lot of options for combat in this. Something you don't see a lot of, though, is like a gun.
I was going to ask about that because I didn't see any guns. I assume there are some, but I guess they're rare.
Yeah, guns are few and far between, at least in the area I got to play.
Okay.
But you do scavenge around for parts and stuff like that, and the only place I found guns are in police vehicles. It's like you actually have to like pick the locks to them. And usually you can find some guns and ammo in there. One thing I found was a pistol, but I found like shotgun ammo as well, but haven't got a chance to mess with it. The gunplay is solid, like like you expect. Game down the sight, shoot at them. Headshots usually knock zombies out one hit, unless it's one of the bigger ones or one of the supercharged ones.
Right.
But it's pretty satisfying. I kind of like that idea that ammo's precious in there.
So getting back to the story, it looks like the visuals are I mean, they're current gen or next gen, I guess. They're pretty. They don't leave anything to be desired from what I can tell. I didn't notice any glitchiness or weirdness, but it reminds me of the setting reminds me of the Call of Duty, like the villages in Call of Duty 2 or Modern Warfare 2. Where are we at in this game?
The city that you're in is it's definitely a fictional city called Haran, or Haran, however you like to pronounce it. And it's kind of like a Brazilian slums type area. So like you see in the Call of Duty level, if you played Max Payne, like in the second half of the game. Which works really well for the parkour system, which is officially called parkour in the game. So yeah, but again, it's fun to run around. The combat is really satisfying. It's definitely one of those games. The more you play it, the more you enjoy it, especially when you unlock better skills. But I was having a blast with it.
I will say I'm more intrigued by this than I have been like a zombie game in a while, because we get so many zombie games now, and like I have my favorites and I'll buy them without naming franchise names. But I don't know, it feels like the zombie genre is played out, but this seems to be bringing something kind of fresh to the table.
Let's bring something fresh to the table. Also, it's a finished zombie game. It's not in early access. This will actually be a full title coming out that's going to have a retail release. So it has that going for it. But it's a mixture of a bunch of games, even though there's a ton of zombie games. And yes, there's a bunch of first-person ones, but this one just feels really good. And the whole parkour movement, in fact, I can't get over how good that is. Of course, you're running some glitches, some funky movement, but if you see a ledge, you can grab onto it. And if it's kind of within reach, you'll actually see him reach out for it, or you can kind of do this nice jump to grasp onto it. It really feels like your character within game is aware of the world around them.
Would you want to play this on Oculus Rift?
I'd throw up probably, but yes, I would. But yeah, you got any more questions about Dying Light?
No. You said there was a skill set. Is there a crafting system too of any kind? Because you seem like you're collecting stuff. You're searching bodies, but
glad you got into that. Yes, there's a crafting system. It's kind of what you're familiar to if you play Dead Island, you don't make things as crazy. Like, you won't see like a chainsaw within a baseball bat.
Right.
But you might see like a blade attached to a baseball bat. So it's still the same things. You have to find blueprints, or if you upgrade your survivor skills, you will also get blueprints from there as well. And from there, like the parts you get, you kind of like you have to have like a like a sharp weapon or a blunt weapon, and then you have to have a saw blade or electrical thing. It depends what you're making. They have like electricity-based weapons, fire-based weapons, and kind of weapons that just make characters bleed, pretty much. Kind of almost like you would see like in an MMO game or any game that has like weapons with stats on them.
All right.
And the weapons themselves do have like a level. Yeah, I mean, you'll see it within the game. Like, they'll have like different color weapons, and depending on that, depends how strong they are and how durable they are too. Because like durability of your weapons is something you do have to worry about.
Okay, so they break like they did in Dead Island.
Yeah, but there are some that like you get one of the orange type tree legendaries, if you want to put it that way. Weapons,
right.
They definitely last a lot longer, and they have other skills that not only let you repair it with less items, but they will survive, or they'll be more durable as well.
Okay.
But now, the one other thing I forgot to mention is within your skills, like how you level up is how you play the game. Like Survivor is mostly doing missions.
Okay.
And the missions in the game will go range from the main story missions you pick up, and there's also side missions you pick up as well, and then there's just area missions that happen throughout the game. And like the most frequent ones I've seen are airdrops. So you have to go secure the airdrops, get the stuff, and turn them into one of the quartermasters. So that levels up your survivor. Agility, like you'd imagine, is doing some stuff, jumping around, jumping off of zombies. Anything you do within the agility tree will upgrade your agility. And power is anything you do in combat will get you power experience. So you level by doing, which is also nice.
Does it have multiplayer? I forgot to ask that.
It does have multiplayer. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to try that out in this current build, but it looks like it's going to have 4-player drop-in, drop-out co-op.
Okay, that could be good.
On top of that, there's a menu hint system that's empty at the moment because it's not active, but you also see it in the lobby menu, something called Beat the Zombie mode.
Ooh.
So it looks like you can actually take control and be one of the volatile zombies and jump in somebody's games.
Okay.
So they have kind of a PvP thing in there too. So like if you're not playing with a group of friends and you just feel like hunting them down as a zombie, I believe that's going to be in this title.
That would be something actually fun to do on the stream, is like watch somebody try to progress through the story and then have somebody else like hunting them and making the game harder.
Yeah, I wanted to be clear that's a player, but which the thing is, like, those type of zombies are really hard to fight as is.
Alright. Well, you've got my attention. I kind of want to give it a shot now. Maybe they'll be nice and send us another code.
Send us another code, we'll put out a multiplayer video, but I'd love to do that.
Done. I will do that. I will definitely do that. So, I'm excited. Way more than I was before this. So, I've learned something today. You have shown me something.
Oh yeah, no. Hopefully I'll show you more when this video's complete. But, I mean, I've been playing for hours on it, and I'm still having fun with it, which that's hard to say about a game.
It's difficult these days. Games aren't as good as they used to be, but this one seems solid.
Yeah.
It's like a unexpected gem.
Pretty much, so I'm hoping it does well.
Where can we get Dying Light?
Well, you can get Dying Light in 2015 on January 27th. It will be out for Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
Awesome. Okay.
Alright, that's all we have for you. Hope you enjoyed. Sign off.